Hello everybody out in Streamland, it's me, Rob Mariani. Many of you remember me from the American Trucker TV series, and if you don't remember me from that series, I wish you could look it up, but Greedy Fox has control of the show, so I don't. I know that they've internationally syndicated the show, so everybody out there might be seeing me in a different country. Greetings. Today's topic is about the non-domicile CDL holders. Let me just rephrase that. Namely, since 2022, when for inexplicable reasons, actually they're very complicated, but we're going to try to explain them today as much as I can. In 2022, the FMCSA, or Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, boy do we have to say that with air quotes, the Safety Administration, went lax on some regulatory rules, and they allowed certified CDL providers, i.e. trucking schools, certified trainers, that will take a student and teach them all of the rules and regulations and skills needed to obtain a commercial driver's license. Now, if you get a commercial driver's license, that means you can roll down the road at 18 wheels. It takes a lot of skill and dedication to that craft. But unfortunately, our country has been besieged by illegal aliens, alien to America, okay? They're not alien to Earth, they're still human beings, but they're called illegal aliens or illegal immigrants if you're part of the lamestream media. And I'm not PC, just so you guys understand. I could give a rat's ass about your PC anything. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is I'm going to try to keep it as concise as I can. The non-domicile CDLs, or as I call them, homicidal CDL holders. That's right, homicidal, because you can go and look up all of the innocent Americans, rest their souls, that have been killed or maimed by illegal homicidal CDL holders that were issued those licenses fraudulently. Number one, they came into the country illegally, and then number two, all of the supposed representatives, which we all know is nothing but a cabal of thieves, a den of thieves in Washington, D.C. 2022, the FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, goes lax on some regulatory rules, allowing certified CDL instructors or schools to self-certify. Yeah, self-certify. Let's try to put that into context for you. Say you want to be a doctor, and you don't want to go to medical school and do all of the regular arduous tasks and learning and things that you have to do to eventually become a doctor, you know, to work on people and hopefully save their lives or fix them in some way. But instead, you don't have to go to medical school. It's very easy. You can just go to Jimmy's Certified Medical Certificates and get your CMC. Yeah, it's just that easy. They'll give you a plaque with some UV glass and you can hang that on your office. You know, that'll be in the strip mall next to the pizza shop. And then the self-certified certifier, because, you know, he self-certified himself, gives you a driver's license, a commercial driver's license, after, in many cases, a few hours of instruction or some YouTube videos. Let's just try to understand that. Hey, you don't have to go through all the rigmarole and all the standards that we've had in this country for decades. You can just go past go and collect your $200 after you pay Manuel or whoever it is, the illegal certifier, self-certifier, thanks to this FMCSA in 2022, and with the lobbying help of the ATA and the OOIDA. You're not innocent in this either, because both of those institutions were lobbying right alongside the FMCSA, and maybe they had good intentions, and I'm sure that there are plenty of you that you had great intentions, but when you decided to dumb down those laws and then allow all the self-certifiers to come into the pool of commercial driver's license certifiers, suddenly over 30,000 new certifications or schools popped up like dollar weed all over your lawn. And nobody likes dollar weed. Why? Because it chokes off the rest of the beautiful grass and it's unsightly and it needs to be pulled out. That's what you do with weeds. You rip them out by the roots. Isn't that interesting? It's an interesting concept. Well, anyway, back to what they did. Now, after the fact, you have the FMCSA and the ATA and the OOIDA, Owner-Operators Independent Drivers Association, and the American Truckers Association, American Trucking Association, that lobbied for that change in 22. Then you flooded the entire market, or the United States interstate, with illegals and fake CDL licenses that I call the homicidal CDL licenses on our interstates. And now after the fact, everybody's, oh, we didn't really want that, but you know, you're part of the problem and you need to shoulder the blame, FMCSA. You need to be out there taking it on the chin and admitting that you guys were way off and that it backfired. And you know what backfired on? You and me and everybody else that's out on the interstate, God forbid, that have been maimed, like the now late Bob Spooner, who on Christmas Day 2023 was traveling in a snowy stretch of I-80 in York, Nebraska, when an 18-wheeler driver in the snow lost control of his rig and flipped in front of Bob, and then with Bob taking evasive action to no avail. The cab clipped Bob. Bob tumbled, which essentially died from his condition 2 years later. I just found out from a very credible source that was close to Bob, very close, that the driver that lost control of his rig in the snowy interstates was an illegal with a homicidal CDL license. And in this case, since Bob died, it's another homicide as far as I'm concerned, because the negligence and the lack of training and the certification that he was handed fraudulently gave this douchebag, you can see right here, who's from Uganda. Why don't you guys do a little search, really easy, like I did, on the country of Uganda? And this young guy who came here illegally was pushed through the system by all the bureaucracies and bureaucrats and everybody that's got their dollars stuffed into their pockets to change everything, gave him his career. Oh, that's going to come up on today's hearing. I'm going to talk about that. Today is March 18, 2026. Well, they gave him his license, and what happens when you put a guy from Uganda that doesn't know a damn frickin' thing about driving an 18-wheeler and was probably watching YouTube videos to get his fake license, homicidal CDL license, and what happens? He loses control in front of the greatest trucking legend in the history of our country, really one of, certainly, not all, but Bob is up there. He's on the Mount Rushmore of American truckers, legends. What do you think he's going to do if he's from Uganda and the entire climate that he comes from and has grown up in is tropical? He doesn't know how to drive in the snow if he was in a four-wheel drive Jeep, let alone an 18-wheeler. And subsequently, Bob Spooner paid the ultimate price and the consequences of the idiot from Uganda with his fake homicidal domicile CDL license. So FMCSA and OOIDA and ATA and everybody that's lobbied to get that legislation at 22 who's now, oh, we didn't mean that. But you did, because when you lobby under the cloak of your little secrecy that you did it when you did it, now that it's out in the open, now that the wound is exposed, now everybody's singing a different tune. And I hope that you will try to redeem yourselves, but now we're in this quagmire with legislation to try to fix the problem. Not only have the illegals that have come into the country been given these fake CDL licenses, but they've watered down the entire trucking market, because where they come from, like in Uganda, if you compare those wages to drive a truck, an 18-wheeler in this case, compared to American freight rates, well, let's just do the math on that domino equation, huh? You have illegal brokers and shippers, unscrupulous, just as the same as these illegals are holding these fake licenses that have shoved them all out into every corner of our country under the cloak of carrying the load for America. And they've watered down all the rates. And if I hear one more of these bureaucrat idiots claiming that there's a driver shortage in America, I may chew my own frickin' hand off. It's a total crock of bullshit, and you know that it is. It's all inside baseball, like everything. Everything and everyone, unfortunately, at the top or in control are corrupt, because man's a bad animal. Man is a terrible animal. And you know what? Corruption runs rampant in every facet of our society, starting with the government. Yeah, There's so much tyranny going on in this country right now, and this is just one little microcosm, but it's a big one. And if you don't believe me, why don't you go and do some searches? I'm not sure what search engine you can use, because whatever you put into the search engine is completely policed and they want their narrative. But there are definitely alternate media forms out there, alternate media channels that you can go to, like Miranda over at Trucking Made Successful. She does a fantastic job of giving you the reality of some of the ramifications that I'm touching on here. Certainly our buddy over at Bonehead Truckers has been highlighting this and putting a spotlight on it. And we're all out here pissed off, everybody. And so if we don't all say something, how's it going to get fixed? Well, Senator Banks, I believe from Indiana, proposed legislation on March 6th called Dalia's Law. And if you don't know who Dalia is, Dalia Coleman, a sweet little 7-year-old, was in California with her family, innocently riding in the back seat of her car.
7-year-old girl is critically injured after a 6-car pileup in Adelanto, and now family members are pleading for answers about what happened and who is to blame.
The crash happened on Highway 395 last Thursday. 6 cars, including a semi-truck, were involved. Since then, the 5-year-old has been receiving treatment for her severe injuries at Loma Linda University Medical Center. KTLA's Shelby Nelson with us from Loma Linda tonight. Shelby?
Sure, Micah. Looking at the aftermath of that crash, it is really a miracle that Delilah is still holding strong. She's heavily sedated right now. And her dad tells me after having undergone a craniotomy, she has at least 6 weeks in the hospital still.
She's the type of person that No matter what's going on in your life, she's gonna find a way to make you happy. She's gonna find a way to make you smile.
Full of laughter and smiles, that's what you could expect from 5-year-old Delilah Coleman. But as of last Thursday, her future is uncertain. She's heavily sedated in her hospital bed at Loma Linda Children's Hospital.
She came here with 2 fractures to her skull.
Her father, Marcus Coleman, says doctors removed a portion of her skull to help with swelling, and that she also has a broken leg. She was in the car on the way to see her stepsister along Highway 395 near Calejo Road in Adelanto. Her mother's ex, who was driving, also injured.
He says the last thing he remembers is he looked up in the back and he seen headlights coming at him really, really fast, and he was trying to process it, and it was too late.
Coleman says a semi-truck rammed into their car in a 6-vehicle collision while traffic was stopped for construction.
I just really shook up.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is investigating the cause of the crash, a spokesperson saying that they haven't determined who is at fault. Coleman says witnesses told him the driver may have fallen asleep at the wheel. Coleman is also a semi-truck driver.
There's no reason for her to be up there. You know, for his negligence, my daughter's the one that's suffering.
Coleman is also frustrated by the lack of answers from deputies. It wasn't until today he says they finally reached out to him. As for Delilah, she has a long road to recovery ahead.
She's going to need a neurological therapy, rehab. She's going to need physical rehab, physical therapy. She's also going to need a helmet. Her whole childhood got derailed.
And Delilah was supposed to be starting kindergarten next month, but that obviously isn't going to be happening. Again, we did reach out to the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department and asked them if that driver was in fact asleep at the wheel. They said they don't have that answer right now because that's part of their ongoing investigation. Reporting live from Loma Linda Medical Center, I'm Shelby Nelson, KTLA 5.
Just like you guys do every day. Just think about that. Hey, I live in Florida. Oh, we're gonna go over to the theme parks. I'm gonna go to Gatorland. And you just get in the car and everything's great and music's playing and you're in traffic, just like everybody else. When you drive a car, you're out in the interstate and you take a little bit of a risk doing that no matter what. But you didn't bank on some illegal moron with no training, or maybe he was trained by a self-certified trainer, thanks to the FMCSA, ATA, OOIDA lobbying for it in 2022, and they got that passed. And so the ramifications then come slow. Little Dalia's in the back seat of her car, and moron Johnny, illegal from India, plows into the back of their vehicle at highway speed. And God love her, the poor little girl she's physically destroyed. She can't walk, talk, feed herself, or God knows what her prognosis is horrible. And my personal heartfelt sympathies goes out to the Coleman family and many of the other families, like the ones in Austin, Texas, 5 of them to be exact. But the exact same scenario happened. You have an illegal flying down the interstate with his gigantic 18-wheel missile who's jacked up on amphetamines. His EDL was probably rigged so he could have a 24-hour clock. He claimed he didn't know what was what and bashed into those people. Or how about the poor Amish family that was taken out in one fell swoop by another one? The stories are all over the place. And see, all of that milk that's spilled now, FMCSA, that you're trying to backpedal on, you have blood on your hands. All of you that lobbied for it, every one of you. So what it would be great is if you could bone up and admit that what you did was egregious and not well thought through. And now we're all sitting here with the ramifications of the flood of all of the illegal homicidal CDL holders. And with the flood of the homicidal CDL holders that were issued by self-certifying instructors, thanks to the 2022 FMCSA and their lax on the regulatory rules, we're all out here with all of these dangerous freaks on the road, and you can spot them a mile away. Wait, let me rephrase. You can spot them when you're driving past them because you'll see like their DOT numbers and their authority and their company name, like Shazam's Trucking, whatever their name is. Usually there's all the residue where the duct tape has been pulled off and the new name has come on because they're chameleon carriers. Once they get caught for one violation, they're caught a lot. Then they just go and open up another LLC as another trucking company, and within 24 hours, another P.O. box or whatever they're doing, and they slap that little authority on the side of their truck. Most of their trucks look like rolling shit piles in the first place. It's very easy to see them. Or if you're at a truck stop, it's really easy to see them. They got flip-flops, turbans on their head, and usually jugs of urine that they are setting outside somebody else's wheels. and then they run that over, and then that splashes all over, so when you're walking to your truck, it smells like an outhouse. This is rampant. And if you don't believe me, well, I'll be going on a little road trip, and I'll be looking for it, and I'll come back with another video to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Again, this is just we're just touching the surface right here for all of you that might not know. Today is a very important day, but not really, because the House of Representatives is having a meeting, I think, or a vote on Dalilah's Law, or HR 7793, which is now what they're calling it. It's an addendum bill, where all of the inside baseball paid off congressional members, elected or selected members, selected. Your election? Oh yeah, here. I'm going to give you $400,000 for your campaign. And then when I want my stuff passed, you're going to give me that. Yeah. Oh, you will? Okay. Yeah. That's how it works in Congress. Congress doesn't represent us. None of them even know anything about the Constitution. And what they've done now is they have this little meeting, or they're little voting on HR 7793, or Dalilah's Law. And I watched some of it, and I was watching it on a feed that was dropping out, but I saw Representative Garcia stating that we can't violate the illegal homicidal CDL holder who's in the country illegally, issued a shit pile worthless document called the domicile homicidal CDL license, right? And then he's set free on the interstates. They're voting on this bill, and this Garcia moron is saying that if you pass this law, we're going to be disenfranchising or taking away the rights to that poor driver and his career. So the illegals deserve a career in America. And so we'd be infringing on his rights. This thing is so, listen, after watching some of the hearing and listening to this, it's the same old noise. And for you, me, and everybody else, well, not me, because I paid attention, but for the majority of people that don't pay attention, you're out there every single day doing what you're doing. I don't know, you're working your job or taking care of your kids, or what. There's, a litany of what you do all day long. You're not following the live voting that's actually going on, where the laws are made, where the sausage is cooked up in Washington, D.C., or the den of iniquity, as I like to call it, because that's what it is. The den of evilness. It's pure evil. If it isn't the dude at the top wasting all of our tax dollars by blowing up innocent people over in the Middle East, and then clogging up the Straits of Hormuz, with 20% of the world's oil being in a state of flux, and now our fuel prices have gone jacked up to the moon. Diesel's well over $5. And you know how that works, because remember the pandemic? I mean the plandemic. Where they had to say, in the name of safety, we're going to have mail-in voting to steal an election. See, everyone knows the cat's out of the bag. There is no more Democrat, Republican, and any of you, God bless you. If you bought into it as long as like I did, we were all hoodwinked to believe that the system in this country is Democrats and Republicans, and I hate them because that, and they hate us because of this. It's all a ruse, Do some research. Really was created by the CIA, and it's all working well. Just like Operation Mockingbird in 1972, when the CIA and the Congress, back then, what's old is new, that corrupt Congress, how much? Oh, $500,000? Yeah, leave that in the cash. Leave that when I get into, I'll pass everything you need. Gotcha. Let's go out for a steak dinner. The same thing was going on. They passed Operation Mockingbird with the CIA since 1972. If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. Don't believe me. Where the CIA really is control of every single teleprompter and every single talking head moron that's on the news feeds in your local community. And figure it out. ABC, CBS, NBC, whatever they are, they all get their marching orders from the top, and then the teleprompters are all fed. And that's why you can see a billion videos where you can sync up all of them with their same message. To slow the spread. 14 days to slow the spread. 14 days to slow the spread. Whatever they say, that's what they want. And we're controlled. They think we're like puppets. The dumb American people. We're not stupid. The internet is your enemy. And even though Al Gore created it in the late 60s, it's working against them for this very reason that I'm talking to you today. Because people have voices, and a lot of great, great, great American patriots, and for that matter, patriots around the world, are uncovering all of the lies and the bullshit that we're fed every day. But back to the voting. They're not going to pass this, and if they do pass it, there's already legal challenges that are going to go on to Dalilah's bill, or HR 7793, with the 5th Amendment and 14th Amendment challenges. DACA, they'll say, but this truck driver's been in the country since 2014, and he's got his own business, and he's got now 8 trucks, and he's kicking ass and he's delivering America. Well, I'm sorry. I am sorry to you. You may have great intentions, but you came here illegally under Obama and DACA, no Obama, Barry Soetoro, who set and planted all the seeds for really a big piece of where we're at right now today. See, when he planted the seeds with DACA, if you remember, it wasn't very long ago, DACA, that was illegal. He did it basically by fiat because he was a dictator, like the next puppet, the scarecrow, I call him, was a dictator, and Apricot Man is now a dictator. See, they're all dictators, and when you're in that club, go watch the George Carlin skit years ago when he said about the club. We're not in the club. The club. They're doing what they're doing. Basically clubbing us, metaphorically, over the head every single day of our lives. So I don't have any faith in what's going to happen, and there certainly are going to be challenges. And now the FMCSA is doing all these little roundtables with Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, and they were just doing one in Wisconsin, my home state, by the way. Hail to the Green Bay Packers and the Cheeseheads. They're doing all these dog and pony shows right now. And you know what it is? It's all noise. It's more noise. Because no matter what we're going to do, we have the problem. So now let's just get to the root of it. If they pass it, which maybe they'll pass some bastardized version of it, and if they do, well, when they do the insider, somebody's getting money right now, they'll be handing that off to wherever. When they do, this is what's going to happen. They have to, in the bill, if they pass it, it's already codified that you have to speak English and read English to get a commercial driver's license. That's only one small section of it, because then that's all the loopholes to the legal challenges on the DACA, which is still illegal, and we'll get down into that rabbit hole. But the most obvious pressing one would be the 180-day CDL recertification process that will take place. Everybody's up in arms about that. Okay, I like to cook. Let's say you want to make an omelet. What's the old saying? You have to break some freaking eggs to make the omelet. The kitchen's gonna get messy before it ends up on your plate with the chives at the end, okay? There's a long process in there. So I'm sorry, but everybody, if you have to go and get recertified, now, of course, all the bureaucracy and all the bureaucrats are saying, we're crying, oh my God, we're gonna backlog and overwhelm the DMV. The DMV. Yeah, go in there and take a look at those government employees. Everyone and their brother hates going into the DMV because it's like, I don't know, it's horrible. It's like going into a private meeting with the 1940s brown shirts. Literally, they're wearing brown shirts. They're saying that that's going to cause a logjam because every certified American CDL holder, and you know who you are. Thank God there are still legit American truckers, classics, God bless you, out there. You're going to have to recertify. And they'll say that in order to recertify, you have to go into the DMV to do that. Whoever said that or who's ever coming up with that plan is a fucking moron. Oh, I didn't say that. What I mean is an effing moron. If I have a CDL license and I've been driving on the U.S. Interstate since 1995 or 2002, you already know my DMV information, my CDL from my medical card on every year. You know exactly who they are. Why would you need to go into the DMV to recertify and prove that you can speak English? It's bullshit, and you know it is. That brings me to the next topic. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy did absolutely inherit the Scarecrow administration's decision from 2022 and the FMCSA. No federal program is a friend of any citizen. Let's just get that square, okay? Let's get it square. There may be good people out there in those positions, and I applaud you, and you know who you are. But the majority of them, they don't really have our best interest in mind. But all of the ramifications that Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy has inherited, he's doing, I think, some good work. He certainly has pressure on him, like a vice, really, more or less, to fix this problem. And back to the big problem, all of the flood of these illegals, and it's well over a few 100,000. I mean, they're giving us all these arbitrary bullshit numbers, just like when they recertified that you could certify your self-certify in 2022, and 30,000 plus new CDL schools popped up. Sean Duffy and company have apparently put down 7,000 of those inside of I think it was a 90-day window, which isn't acting fast enough. And then they moved, I believe, state of Florida at least, that you, at your DOT stop, they're checking you for your English proficiency and maybe pulling you out of the truck. I don't know. But here's an idea. Since you have all of our records digitally everywhere, like you're pushing us into the one world currency where you can track every single thing that we did. And if we say one thing wrong on cameras like this, we got a social credit score and we'll shut your bank down and all the rest of the bullshit for the Great Reset that's going on. Down here in the minutia, in the middle of all the fog. If you are trying to police all the illegal homicidal CDL holders and you're doing it in parts and pieces, you need to act faster than that. Why don't you this is very easy. Here's one idea, just one. And who am I? I'm just throwing out ideas. If it takes 7 years to become a certified United States citizen, and we're in 2026, let's just take let's compartmentalize. Let's take that 7-year window and let's go back to 2019. And let's look at every single person that was issued a CDL, domicile, homicidal, or otherwise, and look at those people in the last 7 years. And then you could do that with the certifying to see if they meet the criteria, if they're legal, or they're meeting the English proficiency standards that have now been enacted or put into law, I believe. I don't know, maybe it's an executive order by Apricot Man. I'm not sure. You could do that. And then you could easily weed those out. And then anybody 2019 and below, that's pretty easy to police. Start going through the DMV record. How long have they held their CDL? Where are they from? Where did they go to school? Whatever you want to look up, you can look it up really easy. Just like you could bust us from a police stop if you've been pulled over by Johnny Law Officer, if you're doing 4 miles over the speed limit, and he can look up everything he wants right there in his little monitor in his Chevy Tahoe. It's that simple. So don't give me any of this BS about, it's going to log jam up the DMV and we're going to have all these problems. Well, then we're going to have to suffer some ramifications and the egg breaking, okay? I think that's fair to say. And every one of you that is a legal CDL holder, that is American and a Patriot, I know that you wouldn't mind it, just like I don't. We get screwed every day, all day. And if we have to, in order to fix this problem, we're going to have to bust it down to the studs. We're going to have to take down everything. All the drywall, in fact, some of the studs are rotten. We're going to have to rip out the studs. We're going to have to start at the foundation to fix it. So don't be complaining that your time, and I know that your time is money when you're rolling and you're legal, and boy, are they making money illegally at the expense of the American people, including Dalia Coleman, God bless her, and Bob Spooner, who is a victim, indirectly a victim, of the illegal domicile homicidal CDL license holder. It's all there. It's all related. Every single aspect of this is related. So I'm not sure where it's going, but here's the thing I'm going to leave you with today. I'm going to leave you with an episode of American Trucker, or some of it anyway, on when I went to CDL school in Los Angeles, Dutson School of Trucking.
Do you want to make big money? Say goodbye to creditors, unemployment, and poor-paying jobs? Get out in a big rig and make big money.
I worked in a gas station. Then I got my Class 1 truck driver's license. I have never been out of work since.
Dutson driving schools are the best. Ask me. I'm Debbie Dutson.
By the way, they're out of business right now, probably because that 30,000 plus fake CDL school or certifier came in and pushed them right out because they were doing legit business for decades. Phil, my man, love you, brother. And everybody that was at Dutson, shout out. This is the American Trucker episode, Rob Becomes a Trucker, and you can get a little glimpse of some of the things maybe you could discern what I've been talking about here, bloviating, of what it was like when you actually went to an accredited school and were taught by qualified instructors, and you had to learn classroom, and then all of your yard testing, and then finally your DMV test, all of it. Okay, it's all in there. Maybe this will refresh your memory. Who knows what's going to happen after this? I'll come back to you. Stay vigilant, people. Say something. Stand up. Don't just be complacent. The only way they're going to listen to us is en masse. Lots of us. And taking to the streets should be an organized, peaceful protest, because that's coming soon. From the illegal war that's happening to the illegal issuing of CDL, domicile, homicidal CDL licenses. Every day we got it stacked against us, but you know what? We will prevail. God will prevail, because good triumphs over evil. I hope that you enjoy it, and signing out for the time being, God bless you.
Next on American Trucker.
Anxieties are sky high right now.
An event I've waited my entire life for. Heading back to school. Trucking school, that is. I'm going for my commercial driver's license.
Class is in session.
The fun and games will have to take a back seat, because I'm going to experience something that I always knew. Come on!
Oh my God, if I save this, it's a miracle.
This is tough stuff.
You actually have to control the vehicle, stop it, downshift, know where your pressures are.
There is a lot to know. Any driver that's out there knows the place that I'm in right now.
And we are going to see what happens when a rig is pushed beyond its limits. I'm a little freaked out. Big rigs and truckers, try to imagine this country without them. Guess what? You can't.
Let's rock and roll.
My name is Rob Mariani, and ever since I was a kid, I have been out of my mind crazy about anything with 18 wheels. Look at this lineup!
This is totally Mac Daddy.
Wow!
I love the smell of diesel fumes in the morning.
They're cool, but without the trucker, they are simply a machine.
If you ain't turning,
You ain't earning.
You are the stuff of legend! Together, they help build the roads, the schools, the hospitals, your house. They even delivered everything in your house.
you know what that is? That is called pride.
They stock the stores. They come to the rescue. And when they're working, they never play around. American truckers are the backbone of this country. Don't believe me? Stick around. You will. Before you can drive a big rig, you need a commercial driver's license, aka a CDL. And today I begin my own personal lifelong mission. Becoming a member of the club, the American Trucker Club. But first, I need to get legal. So I'm here at Dutson School of Trucking in Arcadia, California.
I gotta tell you, this is something I've been waiting for my entire life. Since I was this big, wanted to be a truck driver. So I'm gonna, in the next few days, figure out every little nuance there is, everything legally that I'm gonna be taught. I'm gonna have to know it because I'm gonna have to pass the DOT test. School, here I come.
There are over 300 truck driving schools in the U.S., and they all start right here, in the classroom.
And there's so many facets to this because we don't have that long of a show. But I'm just gonna tell you in a condensed version, there is a lot to know.
At 55 miles an hour, there's a 32-foot air brake lag. When the emergency brakes come on, they come fully on. Trailer starts to slide, pull the trolley brake down a little bit, put a little drag on the trailer brakes, the trailer will come right back behind the tractor.
This is what my fervor is keeping me going in the class. I keep thinking, you gotta be able to take your truck, drive on the open highway. I don't want anybody bothering me. I want to have a whole collection of big rigs, so I have to get this out of the way. I have to check this box.
What's the total stopping distance in feet for a truck? Over 300 feet or longer than a
Football field.
I'm surprised at how much of this first phase of the training is dedicated to big rig anatomy. Which begs the question,
why does the DMV want truck drivers to know so much about the engines and the components that make it all work, to where if you get a regular driver's license, they don't care what you know about the engine or what you're driving?
I think part of the answer to that will come tomorrow, as we get our hands on the rig.
Finish up the classroom work. I gotta tell you, a lot of things to know when you're going for a CDL. Going to meet Phil. We're gonna do our pre-trip inspection with the rest of the class. This is a huge step in getting that Class A license.
I know I'm in good hands. Phil speaks from 30 years of hardcore over-the-road trucking experience.
We're going to do the COLA test first.
COLA acronym for something, right?
Cut out low air, that's all that means.
Cut
So
out
you're
low
checking for leaks and to make sure that your braking system's working properly. It's the only thing, if you miss one step, they'll fail you. See you next week, you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
The pressures that you're gonna need to know about when the governors should kick on, when it should do it, when you have loss of pressure. There is a ton of information.
Okay, this is your splitter, high, low range. I'll fan my brakes down to about 90 PSI.
Brakes. Oh boy, a lot of time talking about brakes. It makes sense though. Stopping something this size is important. A typical 18-wheeler has 10 sets of brakes that operate with air pressure. It's a lot to manage.
So brake drums, not cracked or damaged, no excessive grease or oil. We're gonna check our brake shoes to make sure they sit well within the drum itself.
Everyone in my class understands that this is important information. There are no jokes, no games. This is a huge, complex machine that, if out of control, can cause some serious damage.
And I hope you're not lost back there, because there's been a lot of information from school to our pre-trip inspection. We haven't even gotten to the skills test yet, so let me tell you something. You better be paying attention. And if you ever want to be Class A rolling down the highway, you're going to need to be standing right where we all are and listening to a guy like Phil to get it done.
Next up, time to put my driving skills to the test and see if I have what it takes.
This is hard as hell, dude. Let's see you do it.
and an American trucker with a story and rig so amazing,
I'm completely speechless.
Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a truck driver. I'm at the Dutson School of Trucking. Just did all the classroom stuff. It's a lot to learn. Oh, guess what? I had to do the pre-trip inspection. I thought the class was something way more in-depth doing the pre-trip, which is huge key. You fail the pre-trip on going for your CDL test, you're done. You're not gonna be able to get in one, fire it up, and do the skills test, which I'm gonna do as soon as I go find Phil.
First off this morning, double clutching.
So go ahead and hop in and let's rock. Give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. Double clutching plus double clutching to downshift? Whoa, I don't know, man.
Okay, so we're in first gear. I'm gonna shift into second. Think 1, 2.
Well, you double clutch that so fast, I can't even stand life.
In your car, if you have a manual transmission, it's synchronized, so you don't have to deal with all this craziness.
You can get in and rev up the arch. You can be going 40 and dump the clutch and pull it down a gear, in a gear, and it's gonna slip right in. Here, non-synchronized. You end up synchronizing it with the clutch, RPMs, and the throttle. The clutch has a brake on it. You go too deep, it acts like a brake. It'll stop the gear from going in.
A rig like this that is thumping 1,500 to 2,000 foot-pounds of torque would rip a synchronizer to shreds. I mean, this is a commercial vehicle. It's heavy duty.
Now I'm gonna hit my upshift, think neutral gear.
Wow, you're like a gunfighter.
Phil is exactly the kind of trucker that has always inspired me to become a trucker. And he reminds me of a guy that I met a while back. His name is Bill Foose, a trucker that's been hauling proud for 50+ years.
I love these things since I was big.
You and me both, my man. You and me both.
I used to pedal my bike all the way up to 46 and sit there and watch trucks go by.
His latest rig is a 1980 W900 KW that is unbelievably breathtaking. He obviously has the same sickness I do.
Do you have a wife?
She's number 3.
Number 1. All right, this is number 1. If she knows that, she's okay with that?
Oh, yeah, the Hunting's number 2. She's number 3.
Kenworth, W900, Hunting, and then his lovely wife, in that order. And she's okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
Does she drive with you over the years?
No.
No?
It's not just his wife. This guy doesn't take any passengers.
Could you please explain to me why you have to be by yourself all the time? To concentrate.
To concentrate. You want to hear everything. I don't play no radios, no nothing. I listen to that engine.
You mean to tell me that you've been driving your whole life that way?
I'll never turn the radio on.
You're a living legend.
I want to hear the truck.
How many miles are on this truck?
Over 2.
Over 2 million? Could we please show America the engine of what over 2 million miles looks like? This is a thing of beauty right here.
Are you crying?
Yeah, I'm crying. Okay, the engine alone, a 3408 cat, V8 cat. So when you see the twin stacks on this, it's not some faked out Y pipe. It's breathing both banks of the engine at all times. The chrome, the pride, I don't even have any words for it. I'm completely speechless.
Talk about inspiring. Come on, let me at this truck. I've got some double clutching to tackle.
Tractor, trailer brake. No gas.
No
Get
gas.
that throttle foot flat on that floorboard. Now ease the clutch nice and slow.
Here we go, Bessie.
There you go. Now all the way off that clutch, Rob.
All the way off.
Okay, so we're gonna go
I'm in
from
first.
first to second.
Going up into second.
Neutral
Double clutching
gear.
it. Neutral gear. All right, that's second. It's really not that easy, I can tell you this.
But I am starting to get the hang of this.
Neutral gear, just like that.
Next up, my skills training.
Okay, the day we go to the DMV, you're gonna have to perform 3 skills for them: a parallel park, an alley dock, and a straight line backing. Parallel park's the first skill you're gonna perform, so I'm gonna start you off here. Okay.
Parallel parking a semi, an articulating semi. Parallel parking.
Complete jackknife.
A complete jackknife.
Once the angle's right, all you do is turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, and boom, it goes in every time. I'll guide you in, just swing it around.
Well, things are just getting better by the second.
Oh boy, this This is gonna suck.
Come on back. Nice and easy, Rob. Little more. Stop. Now we're gonna turn the wheel all the way to the right. This thing will go on every single time.
All the way right. Go into reverse, release the brakes.
Okay, just hold it right, Rob. Keep going back.
What the hell am I doing?
I'm pushing as hard as I can. That's good.
This is not a skills test?
That's a parallel park. You got to take it on your own sooner or later. Take the training wheels off and go for it.
It's sort of a metaphor. I'm in this big rig, and you need to know a big rig truckload of knowledge to get to the next step, in these protocols, to get to your CDL. All of you drivers that are out there, you are it. Way to go. This is hard as hell, dude. Let's see you do it.
Coming up, my training really starts to go south. Come on!
Oh, left!
I've jackknifed it. And proof positive what happens when you push a rig too hard. Chaos. I'm doing it. Finally! I'm attempting to get my big rig commercial driver's license. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to be a trucker. And now, I am knee-deep in the training segment of my journey. Come on! And my DMV test is looming.
How'd I do, boss?
All right, I just finished the training on the first of 3 skill tests.
That's what I'm talking about. Parallel parking. So would I have passed or failed?
That would have passed.
I'm flying solo, parallel parking rigs. That's what I'm talking about. Next, the infamous alley dock. But instead of a real alley, I'm using cones. And it doesn't matter. It's still scary.
I was shown this once.
Now follow it left, Rob. Turn it, turn it, turn it. Now, straighten your wheels. Get it straight, Rob. No gas. Ease that clutch out. A little right now. Right. Right, 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 right. Come on, buddy. Turn it, turn it, turn it. Go to your mirrors, Rob.
This is tough, and I'm doing this out in the open with cones. Imagine doing it with 2 buildings on either side.
Can I unload the groceries?
Next time you do it, I want you to back up a little
Oh,
farther.
I didn't know. I did not know where the heck I was.
Yes,
Oh, I got
Stop about right here. Do it one more time.
This isn't working at all.
Turn the wheels the wrong way. Right at the end, you reverted back to a car mentality. All he needed to do was hold it left. It was going right in for him. Left. Up, left.
This is a holy wreck. I've jackknifed it. I thought I had a good angle.
You got too deep.
I wish I could just master this move, but honestly, it's a testament of how hard this job really is. And long story short, it is tough to maneuver something this big.
You have to be on your mark every single second you're operating a vehicle like this, and there is a lot in here that calls your attention.
It could be high winds, or a car cutting a trucker off on the highway. This machine is a massive beast, and I'm amazed at how many people think that these things can turn on a dime, let alone stop on one. I mean, you wouldn't try to cut a train off, would you?
Imagine having an articulating vehicle that is 80,000 pounds loaded with tall gears in it that you can't just take one gear and drop it down 12. You actually have to control the vehicle, stop it, downshift, know where your pressures are, all of these things. There's a lot.
Now here's an example of a truck driver out of control. But what amazes me is the trucker who was filming this. He was able to keep control of his rig and steer past the situation. You have to be on your game to pilot something like this. All right, I'm in my training session with Phil, and I just finished my 3rd of the skills tests. And although I feel prepared, I'm still pretty nervous.
That's good right there. You're basically pretty much prepared to go down there and pass the test now. Here's what I want you to do. Just take a couple days off. Don't overload yourself with all this information you've been trying to absorb.
And I will do that.
There you go.
Big day today. I'm going to find Phillies in the yard over here somewhere. I'm going to the DMV to take my test. Oh, yeah.
Then let's roll, man. I want to get you your license
All right,
today.
man. That's what I'm talking about.
There is so much information spinning around in my head right now, I cannot even see straight. Neutral throttle, gear.
We're here.
Now you're going to pass your test.
Wish me luck.
There you go. I've got all the confidence in the world in him.
I'm going to conquer.
It's just up to him to have some in himself.
Up next, my final exam is here, and I am literally shaking in my boots.
I say this is a miracle. There's no way.
Will my life's goal become a reality?
Anxieties are sky high right now. All right, here we are. We're at D-Day right now, DMV day for me. My CDL test, my skills test at the DMV. You drivers have been out there 10 years, you've been out there one day, you've been standing right where I am. And I have to tell you, I am a little bit apprehensive, a little nervous, and a little freaked out. Everything I learned in the classroom about the COLA test, I'm hoping it's gonna help me out applying it to the real world, my real COLA test for the DMV.
Yeah, let me hear the city horn, just a little brief tap. Very good.
Oh, this guy's all business.
Oh, God. Wish me luck.
So we need the air brake test first.
Okay. If you screw up the COLA test, you might as well just quit right there. You're done.
I have to remember my Jedi training.
They want you to be specific, so you tell them what you're looking for with each individual test along the way.
My primary and secondary are both at 122 pounds. That's good, so we did not exceed 130 PSI. I'm gonna do the 460 applied test, Gary.
Okay.
I'm gonna time it for 60 seconds and make sure that it doesn't lose more than 4 PSI.
One wrong move, one wrong word even, and I am done right now.
Okay, good. We got the COLA test out of the way.
All right, sir.
Proceed to the in-cab inspection.
I'm gonna check the windshield for any cracks or any obstruction on the windshield. No more than 2 inches of play in the clutch pedal. Well, my anxiety levels are still really high. I'm trying to keep myself in check right now, and I'm telling you, I have anxiety. Listen, you can probably hear this. This is the real deal, and I'm really nervous, but I'm trying to keep it together. No cracks in the leaf springs. They look good. Splash guards are on. There's no dead body parts stuck underneath the back of the mud flaps.
Okay, he's not getting any of my jokes. And that was my A material.
Real good. You've done this portion of the test, and we can move on to the skills.
Any driver that's out there knows the place that I'm in right now. Skills test. I'm feeling pretty good right now. I don't want to jinx myself.
I know I did good on this in training, so my confidence is pretty high.
Lot to know here. Everyone who's out there has a driver's license. I think you can understand and appreciate the level of anxiety that you have to get your driver's license. Imagine that times 100. Okay, how about that?
Okay, good.
1 down, 2 to go.
Right now, I'm gonna do my straight line backup test.
Okay, we're gonna back up till the back of the trailer's in with that last pile or cone down there.
The third one?
The third one. Good.
Sweet! Now the part I'm dreading.
Anxieties are sky high right now, but I am going to keep it cool. I'm going to pull it off.
Back around into the alley dock.
Okay.
Remember that one?
Clearly.
Okay.
There's no way. Oh my God, if I save this, it's a miracle.
Okay, that's over. Problem is, I don't even know how I'm doing because I don't get a pass or a fail until I'm done.
Pressure's on now. We're gonna hit the mean streets for the test. I'm out in the test with the man. He's writing down every little nuance of what I'm doing, shifting, steering. I don't know what he's thinking. It's really nerve-wracking.
I'll make a left turn here at this corner.
All right.
Well, this is the money shot right here. It all comes down to this.
Well, Gary, I won't bother you. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of like the equivalent of sitting in the waiting room, waiting for the doctor to come out of the hospital and tell you whatever the news is.
Did real well.
Real well.
Congratulations. Take that into window 23 and they'll give you a license.
I got my license.
Yeah, you did. Good job.
Amen to you. Thank you so much. Window 23?
Window 23.
That's gonna be my new tattoo, window 23.
Well, what's the verdict?
Here's the verdict right here, brother.
You can do it, man. Outstanding.
Not without you, brother. Ever since I was a little boy, I've been dreaming of this day. And holy smokes, it has arrived. You're in my way. Allow me. And away we go.
Onwards and upwards.
I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of every American trucker out there in the interstates making America happen one load at a time. When you drive down the interstate, you see all those rig drivers, men, women, they're going somewhere with a load of something because they are professionals. They've earned it. Give them a break, slow down, don't cut them off.